Welcome to computer science class. In this video, we discuss a new chapter, object-oriented concepts. Object-oriented concepts. Here, objects are the real-time entities. Objects are the real-time entities, or objects are the identifiable entities. Objects are the real-time entities, or objects are the identifiable entity have both data and functions. Have both data and functions. Then these functions are work on data present inside the object. For example, desk is a object, pen is a object, pencil is a object, chalk is an object, duster is an object. So the common definition for object is it is a identifiable entity. Object is a identifiable entity, has a physical existence, Then object combines both data and functions. For example, see here, it is a data. Then around data there is a function. Then these functions are only work with the data present inside the object. Let's discuss the object. Let's discuss the object 1, object 2, object 3. Then every object have data and function. Every object have data and function. There is a 3 objects. Then all objects are communicate only through function. Not directly. Hence, data is hidden from the unauthorized access. That is the main concept of object-oriented programming. In a previous days, we use structured programming, unstructured programming. In a unstructured programming, all statements are written in a single place. That place is called main of the program. In a structured programming, we use sequential programming instructions, selective programming instructions, then iterative programming instructions, then subroutines, that is we call it as functions, where functions are the small programs. Say the overcome of the drawback of unstructured programming, structured programming and procedural programming, then introduce the object-oriented programming. So the main concept of the object-oriented programming is to prevent the data from unauthorized access. Here unauthorized access means the data are accessed by other programs. To prevent the data, then introduce the object-oriented programming. Here object-oriented programming means first we have to create a object, where object is a real-time entity or it is an identifiable entity. It combines both data and function in a single unit. That is we call it as object. Using object, we construct a program. That program is called object-oriented programming. That concept is called object-oriented programming. First we have to create a object. In that object, we save the data. We know that data are the raw fraction figures which needs to be processing. Say all values are stored in a data. Then along with data, we also combine the function. Where function is a program. What are programs? Programs are the instructions. Function is a program. Then these function only work with the data inside the object. See here, if you access the data from the object 2 to object 1, Say if you want object 1 to access a data from the object 2, then it can communicate with the function of object 1, then function of object 2. Then the function of object 2 communicate the data, then send to the object 1. The object cannot directly access the value of another object. It only through the function, because data are hidden. Data are hidden from the function. That is the concept of object oriented. Then related to object oriented, then we discuss the class. Class, where class is a template. Class is a template. It is a template used to generate object. Used to generate object. Then all objects have same property, same properties and behavior. Same properties and behavior, or same characteristics and behavior, same properties. So where class is a template, it is only an template used to create a object. Classes are used to create a objects of similar type. All objects are of similar type. For example, fruit stall is a class. Fruit stall is a class. Then in a fruit stall we saw apples, orange, banana. Say all are the objects. What are objects? Objects have physical existence. Apple have a physical existence, banana have a physical existence, so we can touch and feel. So objects are the real-time entity, have a physical existence. Then all objects have characteristics and behavior. All objects have characteristics and behavior. Then characteristics and behaviors are properties, are called properties. In object-oriented programming, object and classes are the main concepts. Object and classes are the main concepts. Without class, we can't create any objects. Without class, we can't create any object. Then a single class can generate many number of objects. A class can generate many number of objects. All objects share the same name, same properties. All objects share the same properties. That is, we call it as object-oriented class. In object-oriented class, we create first class, then object. So using this concept, we construct a program that is called object-oriented programming. Let's discuss the characteristics of object-oriented programming. Okay, let's discuss the concept characteristics of object-oriented programming. The first characteristics of object-oriented programming is modularity. Modularity. Second one is abstraction. Second one is abstraction. Third one is encapsulation. Encapsulation. Fourth one is inheritance. Inheritance. Fifth one is polymorphism. Sixth one is dynamic binding. And seventh one is message passing. So these are the characteristics of object oriented programming. The object oriented programming is abbreviated as OOPS. OOPS stands for object oriented programming. Let's discuss each characters one by one. The first one is modularity. So here modularity means we divide a lengthier program into smaller subprogram. Those are called modules. Using this technique, we construct a program that is called modular programming. Say OOPS follows modular technique. Then OOPS also follows top-down analysis. In a top-down analysis, we divide a lengthier program into sub-programs. Again further divide a subprogram into smaller subprogram until to get a computer solution. So OOPS follows both modularity technique and top-down analysis. That is the first characteristics, modularity. Say in a modularity, we divide a lengthier program into smaller programs. Those are called modules. Using this technique, we construct a object-oriented programs. Second one is abstraction. Here abstraction means provide certain information without any explanation. So abstraction means we provide certain information. It provides certain information, but without any explanation, without any background explanation. That is called abstraction. Some concepts are in abstract form. They work properly, but without any explanation. Next one is encapsulation. Encapsulation means wrapping of data and function. Wrapping of data and function in a single unit. That is called encapsulation. Basically, wrapping of data and function in a single unit, that is the class. That is itself is a encapsulation. We encapsulate the data and function. Here encapsulate means we secure the data and function in a single unit. That is called encapsulation. Next one is inheritance. Inheritance means acquire the properties of one class to another class. Acquire the properties of one class to another class, or acquire the properties of one object to another object. That is called inheritance. Acquire the properties. Here properties are characteristics and behavior. Those are acquire from one class to another class, where classes are the templates used to generate series of objects, used to generate a object. Then polymorphism. Next, fifth one is polymorphism. Here poly is a Greek word. Polymorphism means ability to take more than one form. That is called polymorphism. Then dynamic binding. Here dynamic binding means code associated to the procedural call is not known until procedural call is made. The code associated with the procedural call is not known until procedural call is made. Say here we have a procedures. Here procedures are also set of instructions. Which set of instructions are executed is not known until we have to call the particular procedure. That is, we call it as dynamic binding. Dynamically it accesses the procedural based on the user request. That is the dynamic binding. Code. Here code means set of instructions associated to procedural call. Procedural call means request for the execution is not known until procedural call is made. Say here procedural call is made means user send the request to execute a particular procedure. That is not known until user send the message. That is called dynamic. Dynamic means instantly. Dynamic binding. Say here once the instructions are binding to the execution, those are strictly executed. Then message passing. So here message passing means it is a request for execution. It is a request for execution. These are the characteristics of object-oriented programming. In this chapter, we have either 3 marks question or 5 marks question. This is R for N 5 marks. It is an important question. Just asking, write the characteristics of object-oriented programming, or write any 5 characteristics of object-oriented programming. If you ask for a 5 question, first list the characteristics, then explain the characteristics. Say explaining each characteristics using 1 or 2 lines. The first one is modularity. Here modules are the smaller subprogram. Using this technique, we construct a program that is called modularity. Here modules are the subprograms. Using this technique, we construct a program that is called modularity. Next one is abstraction. Say provide the certain information. See, object-oriented program provides the certain information without explaining any background detail, without any explanation or without explaining any background detail. That is called abstraction. Next one is encapsulation, wrapping of data and function in a single unit. That is called encapsulation or encapsulated. Next one is inheritance, acquire the properties of one class to another class, or acquire the properties of one object to another object. That is called inheritance. Inheritance means acquire the properties. Here properties are characteristics and behavior. Next one is polymorphism. It is a ability to take more than one form. Polymorphism means ability to take more than one form. Dynamic binding, code associated to the procedural call. Is not known until procedural call is made. Last one is message passing. Here message passing means here we send a message or request for program execution. That is, we call it as message passing. These are the characteristics of object-oriented program. The object-oriented program is abbreviated as OOPS. O-O-P-S. OOPS. Let's discuss the advantages of object-oriented programming. Advantages are benefits, also we call it as benefits. The first advantage of the object-oriented program is OOPS, object-oriented program, models the real-world entities very well. The meaning of the first one is we have to implement a real-world problem. In C++. That is, we have to solve all real-world problems using C++ program or object-oriented program. The example for the object-oriented program is C++. In the next chapter, we discuss C++ in detail. So here, the meaning of the first one is all real-world problems are easily implemented using object-oriented program. That is, object-oriented program models the real-world entities. Here, real-world entities very well. Second one is inheritance extends the use of existing classes. So here, inheritance means we have to acquire the properties of one class to another class. The program have more number of classes. Each class have number of objects. The concept of inheritance, the characteristics of an object-oriented program, that is inheritance, acquires the properties of one class to another class. It extends the code reusability. The same set of codes are repeatedly used within the same program. That is the concept inheritance. Then third one is data hiding. The concept of encapsulation. Already we know that encapsulation is a wrapping of data and function. The concept of encapsulation, it hides the data from unauthorized access. That is the third one, data hiding. We have to prevent the data. Fourth one is the work can be divided easily. Here it follows the modularity. Say what is modularity? We have to divide a lengthier program into smaller subprograms. The different programmers can design the different modules. So easily we can divide the work using the concept modularity. That is, the work can be divided easily. Lengthier work can be easily divided using the modularity. That is one of the advantage. Then OOPS can be easily upgraded. OOPS can be easily upgraded. Say it is easy to extend the program. It is easy to extend the object oriented program because here we use classes and objects and we follow top down analysis, we follow modularity, hence it is easy to upgrade the existing programs. Sixth one, complexity of the software is easily manageable. So it is easy to test and debug because we use the modular programming. So the complexity of the program is easily managed. The complexity is easily managed. Then seventh one is data centered design approach. The concept of the data centered is we have to create a object. We know that object combines both data and function. We have to concentrate on the data. Then function. See, functions are work with the data. Hence, it is a data centered design approach. These are the advantages of object oriented programming. The first one is OOPS models the real world entity very well. We have to easily implement all real world problem in object oriented programming concept. Inheritance extend the use of existing classes. Inheritance means we have to acquire the properties from one class to another class. Easily reuse the same set of codes in a program, that is reusability. Data hiding, there is a characteristics encapsulation where we combine data and function in a single entity, hence the data is prevented from the unauthorized access, that is data hiding. Fourth one is the work can be divided easily. It follows modularity, hence we have to divide the lengthier program. OOPS can be easily upgraded. So it is easy to upgrade the object oriented programming because here we use the classes and object modular technique. Complexity of the software is easily manageable. Here we use the modular technique and object oriented technique, hence the complexity of the program is reduced. It is easy to test and debug. Then last one is data centered design approach. In an entire object oriented program, we mainly concentrate on the how to preserve the data, mainly concentrate on preservation of the data. Hence it is a data centered design approach. These are the advantages of object oriented programming. Let's discuss the disadvantages of OOPS. There is a 3 disadvantages. The first one is it is a tricky method. The implementation of the OOPS is a tricky method. Second one is it needs special skill. It needs special skill. Then third one is proper planning. Proper planning is needed. These are the only 3 disadvantages of object oriented programming. So it is a tricky method. The implementation of the object oriented program, then dividing of the lengthier program, then implementation of object and classes, it needs a tricky method. Then it needs special skills in terms of variables, classes and objects. It needs a special skill in terms of variables, classes and objects. Proper planning is needed. So to implement the object oriented programming, it needs a proper planning. These are the disadvantages. Then applications. Applications of OOPS. The first application of OOPS is object oriented databases. object oriented databases. Then simulation. Third one, artificial intelligence. Then fourth one, CAD or CAM applications. Then fifth one, system software development. Parallel programming. Parallel programming or neural networks. These are the applications of object oriented programming. Applications means where we use the object oriented programming. First one is to create a object oriented databases. So databases have logically related data. It stores logically related data. To construct a object oriented databases, we use object oriented program. Then simulation, it is one of the technique. Say in this technique we use the object oriented programming. Artificial intelligence. Nowadays we work with the artificial intelligence technology. Say in artificial intelligence technology also we use object oriented database, object oriented programming concepts. CAD CAM. Say here CAD stand for computer aided design, CAM stand for computer aided manufacturing. In that also we use object oriented programming. System software development. To create a system software we use object oriented programs. Parallel programming and neural networks. In a parallel programming also we use object oriented programming. Say in this chapter, it is a small chapter. In this chapter we discuss definition of object, definition of class, characteristics of object oriented programming, benefits of object oriented programming, disadvantages of object oriented programming, and applications of object oriented programming. In the annual exam we have either 3 marks question or 5 marks question. It is a very simple chapter. In the next video we discuss about introduction to C++. The C++ is a object oriented programming. In your first year PUC we discuss C++ in detail. Thank you.